Hello, I want to tell you a little bit about our Lent series of daily thoughts, prayers and reflections. I'm going to ask the question what it means to be a Christian in today's world and as part of today's church. What is the point? Well, we gather on Sundays, don't we, to be refreshed and inspired, either at the moment or online, but preferably in church. But that's not all we do. We have a mission to carry out. And this is as true in the midst of a pandemic as it is at any other time. Perhaps even more crucial that we carry out our mission under these difficult circumstances. But what is the nature of that mission? How do we articulate it? The 5 marks of mission express it well, and I want to tell you something about them. The origins of these marks date back to a meeting of the Anglican Consultative Council in 1984. Representatives of Anglican churches all over the world gather every 3 years, and this was one of their regular meetings. Subsequent meetings refined the marks. So here they are. The first one is to proclaim the good news of the kingdom. Sharing our faith, evangelism. There are many ways in which we describe this. The second one is to teach, baptize, and nurture new believers. Perhaps we might use the word discipleship. This is very much at the core of church life, particularly to baptize. The third one is to respond to human need by loving service. I can see so much evidence of this amongst our churches, reaching out to those who are vulnerable. The fourth one might sound a little more challenging: to transform unjust structures of society, to challenge violence of every kind, and to pursue peace and reconciliation. This is all about the wider world, isn't it? And sometimes we're at a loss as to how we can influence it. The fifth one is to strive to safeguard the integrity of creation and sustain and renew the life of the earth. That's crucial at this time when the climate crisis is upon us and so much needs to be done to preserve our way of life into the future. Well, I'm not going to say any more about them at this point because that's what we'll be doing over the next 5 weeks. But I thought you might find it helpful to consider how these marks of mission are practiced elsewhere. And I want to tell you a short story. It offers only an insight, but I hope one that stimulates your imagination. One of the most interesting bishops I know is Bishop Munir of Egypt. We met from time to time, and because of my work with the Anglican Health Network, he became a particular supporter. You see, Bishop Munir is a medical doctor. Early in his career, he worked for the hospital owned by the Diocese of Egypt. He spent 20 years there and was eventually in charge. I remember him telling me of the variety of patients he used to see, mostly very poor, mostly Muslim, despite it being a church hospital. He would, of course, carry out tests, listen to what people were telling him and diagnose. But he would also pray with them, most of them, and they appreciated him doing so. The diocesan authorities recognised Dr. Munir's spiritual and organisational capacities and, well, they ordained him priest. Within a couple of years, he became bishop, groomed as a doctor to become a bishop. Fascinating, isn't it? Bishop Munir sees the needs of the people, and he senses God's call to reach out. I was very pleased when he asked me to be present at the inauguration of a new hospital in Sadat city. He was ambitious for the health and spiritual care of the people. Egypt is no easy place to do this, but he continues on. That's what they do in Egypt, of all places. What might we do here in Bodmin? We are already very busy with various expressions of these marks of mission. And during these coming weeks, I hope our reflections will encourage us to further develop our mission. These are difficult times, times in which our work could really make a difference. May God bless us as we seek to serve him faithfully in his call to mission. Amen.